Good morning. This is Pastor Jeff. This is going to be our daily lectionary readings for Friday, June 23rd, 2023. Psalm 69, 7 through 10, and 16 through 18 is going to be our psalm reading. Jeremiah chapter 18, verses 18 through 23 is going to be our Old Testament reading. That's a carry on from yesterday. And then our New Testament reading is going to come from the book of Acts, chapter 5, verses 17 through 26. And this morning we are changing to the Living Bible translation. Psalm 69, 7 through 10. Though I am mocked and cursed and shamed for your sake, even my own brothers pretend they don't know me. My zeal for God and his work burns hot within me. And because I advocate your cause, your enemies insult me, even as they insult you. How they scoff and mock me when I mourn and fast before the Lord. We pick up in verse 16 through 18. O Jehovah, answer my prayers, for your loving kindness is wonderful. Your mercy is so plentiful, so tender and so kind. Don't hide from me, for I am in deep trouble. Quick, come and save me. Come, Lord, and rescue me. Ransom me from all of my enemies. The Old Testament reading is from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 18, verses 18 through 23. Then the people said, Come, let's get rid of Jeremiah. We have our own priests and wise men and prophets. We don't need his advice. Let's silence him, that he may speak no more against us, nor bother us again. O Lord, help me. See what they are planning to do to me? Should they repay evil for good? They have set a trap to kill me. Yet I spoke well of them to you and tried to defend them from your anger. Now, Lord, let their children starve to death, and let the sword pour out their blood. Let their wives be widows and bereft of all their children. Let their men die in epidemics, and their youth die in battle. Let screaming be heard from the homes as troops of soldiers come suddenly upon them. For they have dug a pit for me to fall in, and they have hidden traps along my path. Lord, you know all their murderous plots against me. Don't forgive them. Don't blot out their sin. Let them perish before you. Deal with them in your anger. Our New Testament reading comes from the book of Acts, chapter 5, verses 17 through 27. The high priest and his relatives and friends among the Sadducees reacted with violent jealousy and arrested the apostles and put them in public jail. But an angel of the Lord came at night, opened the gates of the jail, and brought them out. Then he told them, Go over to the temple and preach about life. They arrived at the temple about daybreak and immediately began preaching. Later that morning, the high priest and his courtiers arrived at the temple, and convening the Jewish council and the entire Senate, they sent for their apostles to be brought for trial. But when the police arrived at the jail, the men weren't there. So they returned to the council and reported. The jail doors were locked and the guards were standing outside. But when we opened the gates, no one was there. When the police captain and the chief priest heard this, they were frantic, wondering what would happen next and where all this would end. Then someone arrived with the news that the men that they had jailed were out in the temple, preaching to the people. The police captain went with his officers and arrested them without violence, for they were afraid the people would kill them if they roughed up the disciples, and brought them in before the council. And here ends our readings for the day.